In our last video on the top 10 worst cities for blacks financially, it garnered a lot of conversation. Most of the comments suggested that the list was pretty accurate. And you know I'm looking at you, Ohio. The comments also had a request for the inverse of that list. The top 10 cities where blacks are also doing the best financially. And that's what we have for you today. A couple of things I wanted to point out that I should have pointed out in our last video. The median household income for the general US population was $77,540 in the year that this survey was conducted. And the home ownership rate in the US is 65.6%. So when we talk about black numbers for those two things, that's what you can compare it to. Okay, now let's get to our list. Going from the number 10 spot to the number 1 best city for blacks financially. At number 10, we have Ogden, Utah. When I first saw this city on the list for best places for black people, my reaction was, there are black people in Utah? Then I looked up the numbers on Ogden, and just like I thought, of the approximately 87,000 people, only 2% are black. So really, there are practically no black people in Utah, or at least in Ogden. But the 2% black population there has a $62,000 median household income and a 43% home ownership rate. Ogden has the second lowest unemployment rate for this list at 3.9%, and 26% of the black households here make over 100K. Time to get on my hiking boots and maybe head to Utah. At number 9, we have Baltimore, Maryland. Now, before the comments start to go crazy, I know that this is a very controversial city according to our previous videos. We've had Baltimore on a list of best cities for black people, and tons of people in the comments went absolutely nuts, saying Baltimore is a horrible city. I have to go see it for myself. But according to the numbers, it's one of the best cities to live in, at least financially. The black median household income here is $59,374,000, and 28% of households make over $100,000. The home ownership rate is 47%, with 28% of the black residents holding a bachelor's degree or higher. If you live in Baltimore or you've lived there before, please let me know in the comments your opinion on this city. I might end up filming like a small documentary to see where all the rich people are, or what's going on in this city. Is there just tons of people making a lot of money and then a lot of poor people? Because I get roasted in the comments every time I even mention this city. And keep in mind, these are the metro areas we're talking about. So it's Baltimore and the surrounding areas. At number 8, we have a city I can't wait to see one day, and that's Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, this is a city I've always been curious about because I've heard of all the black entrepreneurship going on here. I got really close when I went to Durham one time, but I have not had the chance to actually check out Raleigh. A little side fact that I learned recently, we've all heard of Black Wall Street, but there was actually a Black Main Street, you guys should read about it, that was located in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Raleigh metro area has a population of 1.5 million, with 20% being black. The median household income is $54,432, and 32% of residents have a bachelor's degree or higher. The home ownership rate is 47% in Raleigh, and unemployment sits at 7.2%. But 23% of black households make over $100,000 a year. I haven't heard much about Raleigh in the last couple of years, so I wonder if the hype around this area has died down. Is there still a ton of black entrepreneurship and growth happening in this area? Let me know. At number 7, we have San Antonio, Texas. About 6% of San Antonio metro area is black and has a median household income of $54,000. A quarter of the population makes over $100,000, and 46% are homeowners. The percentage of the residents that have a bachelor's degree or higher is at 31%. The unemployment rate for black residents sits at a medium 6.4%. From the numbers, San Antonio seems like a decent city. I've never been there. I've been to Dallas a couple times, but let me know if you live there and what you think of the city. At number 6, we have Oxnard, California. This metro by the Pacific Ocean is located between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara. Oxnard is located in Ventura County, which is only 1.6% black. Oxnard has the highest black median household income on this list at $83,873. Side note, if you're curious like I was, San Jose, California actually has the highest income of all the metro areas looked at for this report at $85,579. But San Jose landed at the number 12 best city and not in the top 10 for other factors like home ownership, which was at 30% for Black residents. In Oxnard, the home ownership rate is at 44%. 38% of Black residents in Oxnard have a bachelor's degree or higher, and 42% of households make over $100K, which is also the highest on this list. However, the unemployment rate for Black residents is also the highest on this list at 8.7%. I'm not too surprised by Oxnard landing on this list because it's a high income area. I just wasn't sure about it being singled out above, let's say, LA or San Jose. LA landed at a disappointing 39th place. The median income there is $55,839, which is crazy. I actually live close to LA. And for the median to be $55,000 in LA, where the average price of a house is $1 million or over now, is crazy to me. And it has a 10% unemployment rate for Black residents. Whatever you do, if you're gonna move to LA, just move. Don't come look at it first, because you're gonna see homeless everywhere. It's just atrocious right now. There are some streets that are so bad, you would think that you're in a different country. I just drove down one the other day. It was insane. I can't believe how much LA's changed every time that I go there. But if you are gonna go there, if you're stuck and you have to come here, just come here. Hopefully you're moving to a good area. But if you have the time, make sure you do your research. Pick a city like Oxnard or some surrounding city, but make sure you do your research before you just move here, because it just doesn't look good right now. At number 5, you can see that I'm a little bent up about LA. At number 5, we have Atlanta, Georgia. This is another city I visited out of curiosity since it's the mecca of Black culture. I recently went there and I would just like to say the people are amazing. It kind of bothered me that a lot of the restaurants were closed at the time. Yeah, the people were friendly, a lot more friendly than LA to me. Everybody wanted to talk to you, but I was only there for a short period of time, so I don't know what it's like to really live there. Let me know in the comments. The median household income for Black residents in Atlanta is $58,684, with 50% of them being homeowners. That's the second highest home ownership rate on this top 10 list. 33% of residents here have a bachelor's degree or higher, with exactly a quarter of the Black households making over $100K. Unemployment rate for Black residents in Atlanta is 7.6%. That's so crazy that how expensive LA is compared to the rest of these places, and the median income is close to the same. And there is a tie between two metros for the next 2 spots. First one is Poughkeepsie, New York. There is the city of Poughkeepsie, which I've never heard of, and the town of Poughkeepsie, which I've never heard of. And those two areas combined have a population of over 80,000 people. But they are part of a larger metro area with a population of over 600,000 people. In the most recent survey, that metro is about 12% Black, with most Black residences concentrated in Poughkeepsie, which I've never heard of. The Black median household income here is $67,000, and 46% of Black residences being homeowners. 34% of Black households earn over $100,000, which is the third highest for this top 10 list. Unemployment rate here is 7.2%. The other metro that tied for third place is Provo, Utah. Again, what are we doing? Like, what is the rest of the United States doing? How does Utah have 2 cities on our top 10 list? Because I've never, ever thought about moving to Utah. I've never even heard of a Black person talk about moving to Utah. But let me know, I'll go visit. I'll go check it out. Provo is part of the Provo-Orem metro area with a population of 671,000 people. But again, the Black population here is almost non-existent at 0.5%. But hey, it still landed on this list with that tiny percentage. The median household income for those residents is $59,471, with a 40% home ownership rate. The unemployment rate is the lowest on this list at 3.6%. The second lowest unemployment rate on this list was also in Utah. So if you've been looking for employment for a while, it might be time to pack up your things and head to Utah. 34% of Black residents have a bachelor's degree, and 28% of them have a household income of over $100K. At number 2, another place I love, Austin, Texas. So Utah and Texas have both landed 2 cities in the top 10 for Black people, and I'm not surprised about Texas. Austin is a pretty cool city from what I saw when I visited there, and as a pretty lively downtown area. The black median income here is $61,272, and 44% of black residents are homeowners. 27% of black households earn over $100,000. The unemployment rate is not as low as Utah, but not as bad as Baltimore either, landing at a medium 6%. And now it's time for the #1 metro area where black people are doing the best financially. You deserve to brag if you live here. I wish I lived here, and that is Washington, D.C. I swear, if it wasn't cold, which I'm probably being dramatic, if it wasn't cold, I would be living in Washington, D.C. or around the surrounding areas. I love it every time I go there, and hopefully one day I will own a condo or a house or something in Washington, D.C. I love the feeling when I go there. And also there's lots of Ethiopian food and beautiful Ethiopian people. They're all over the place. Black residents in the DC metro area have a median household income of $82,045, and 51% of them are homeowners, which is the highest home ownership rate for the top 10 list. I just love DC. I love all the black cultures that are coming together there. I love the conversations that you hear at coffee shops. I love everything about DC, except the freaking cold. I just can't do the cold. 40% of black households make over $100,000 a year, and 37% of black residents have a bachelor's degree or higher. So with all of these great things going for it, why does DC also have the second highest unemployment rate on this list at 8.1%? So has anything on this list surprised you? Like Utah surprised me? Let me know in the comments. Ask me anything I might have left out. Also, if you want to check out our list of the worst cities for black people, you know where to look, up above. We'll see you on the next episode. Utah, really? What the heck is going on in Utah? What is going on in Utah? This is crazy. Yeah.